Hi, I'm Rod Zink, Director of Composition at Penn State Harrisburg, and I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about something many professionals find out the hard way, unfortunately, and that's the importance of everyday writing tasks to your professional career. I know a little bit about this very thing because I worked my way through graduate school in the metal fabrication industry, programming CNC plasma burners and writing manufacturing instructions for the shop. I'm also a scholar in technical communication and composition studies, and I teach grad courses in things like new literacy, genre theory, rhetorical theory and practice, and so on. My scholarship sometimes brings me full circle, as it did with my research into workplace writing. And because what I discovered will likely impact each of your futures greatly, it would be wonderful if you would allow me to share with you the big picture view of what I confirmed from past researchers and found out about our own professional era in terms of everyday writing practices in the professional world. Perhaps even more significant than all of that, my research has a direct bearing and impact upon the construction assignments and pedagogical approaches the course designers, Professor Calger and myself, took when building what we believe are some very challenging, but also some very cool and extremely helpful learning experiences for you with these online courses.
We'll move quickly through the background information that foreshadows my research, but I do want to provide you with at least some context here for you to place where all of the information I will be sharing with you is coming from. Basically, the purpose of the research pilot study we will check out here was to discover and document what types of daily writing technical and business professionals from two medium-sized engineering companies did, and how much they did on a daily basis as well. Past studies have been done on this, but I wanted to confirm that those studies were still valid and keep an eye out for potential shifts and changes that might be occurring today. So I started my research with a set of questions which I hope would reveal what everyday writing tasks and genres professionals in technical and business fields were doing, and whether or not they matched up to what has been taught in mainstream technical and business writing classes. I had a pretty good idea about this and had already begun to adjust my own pedagogical approach based on my experience in industry, but now my job as a scholar and program director required more evidence and documentation. Surveys of 30 questions were designed, approved by our Human Research Department, and distributed to voluntary participants in the study. And as this was a pilot study, the 17 respondents represented a sound-based population to establish the sample of responses I needed for my study. As you see, there is a fair mix of age and gender for this cross-section. Similarly, there was also a good balance between professional types from both technical and business backgrounds and specializations, as well as a look beyond those two specific areas into other ones such as legal as well. These were also mostly post-secondary graduates, but there were 3 whose highest degree earned was a high school diploma. No shame in that, of course. And this population consisted mostly of seasoned professionals. I would have preferred more recent hires to be included, but the data here will be most certainly dependable. Okay, here we go. The first result that you should be aware of is that technical and business professionals do much more writing than what many students going into the field believe. Here, the average found in the study was 2.5 hours per day spent at some type of writing task, but you can see that the actual figures are fairly spread out. Only 3 of the 17 respondents report spending less than 1 hour per day writing, and only 1 of those below 1/2 hour, however. 14 of the 17 report writing for at least 1 hour at the minimum per day, and 1 hour is the minimum. The next slide reveals what those professionals are spending their time writing. All 17 respondents reported emails as a frequent and common writing genre they work in on a daily basis, and I suspect that by now other technologies and social media are increasingly being utilized professionally too. Even though the survey is relatively recent, these things are often dated by the time they are compiled and published. I am certain this will be the case with my own pilot study, but the important thing to recognize here is that the everyday communication genres and formats are either listed as more commonly utilized or at least as common as any other of the report genres similar to most of your major assignments in the course. So professionals had some interesting and revealing responses when asked about which tasks and genres they viewed as most significant to their professional standing, development, and future. As you see, 15 of 17 respondents reported that everyday writing tasks were at least as significant as major writing tasks, and over half, or 10 of 17 of the respondents, reported that everyday writing tasks were straight out more significant than major writing tasks. This, I think, says it all, and is the new question that is brought up with my research. It also should make you begin to consider how you can start to prepare to build your own everyday writing and communication processes, techniques, and skills for your professional future that really is not that far away. It is not surprising, then, to learn of the next survey results. That is, over one half, or 9 of 17 of the respondents, report the type of writing task to be the most surprising thing about workplace writing they discovered after entering their profession. And over 1/3, or 6 of 17 of the respondents, report finding more writing tasks than they expected. Indeed, those professionals actually out there working as we speak are the ones we should ask, and they can tell us much that is wise to listen to and consider. To help you apply this valuable knowledge about the realities of workplace communication and writing, our composition program at Penn State Harrisburg unilaterally modified all of our English 202 courses, including the technical or business course you are taking right now. It is sometimes extremely helpful when you understand why you are doing what it is you are doing. And with that in mind, I wanted to quickly highlight the features in this course that will help you to build those all-important everyday writing skills we just examined and heard about, with the hope that it will give you even more incentive and motivation to pay attention to those everyday writing tasks your instructor will ask you to do this semester. Everything from drafts, discussion posts, peer reviews, worksheets, group communication emails, cover memos, and daily assignment, progress and topic memos, and so on. I think you get the idea. If we take a closer look at these working documents, you will probably recognize the cover memos immediately. But there are also others, including smaller memo proposals, reports, emails, and forms to complete, such as your project planning worksheets, among others. Perhaps the most significant working documents of them all, however, are the cover memos, and you will write one for your instructor that will accompany almost every major assignment, with the exception of your report project proposal. The reason why the cover memos are so important is because they are, in many ways, the truest working document in the course, because your instructor needs to use the memo as a real tool to evaluate your major assignments. And you utilize it to actively reflect upon how you are applying rhetorical, design, and usability theory, strategies, and techniques to the rhetorical situation you are writing within and situational demands you must respond to. Again, even if you do not get graded on the cover memo, if you do not do a good job on it, and your instructor cannot clearly understand your strategy, or the rhetorical situation isn't clearly identified, or your instructor cannot find the information she or he needs to, etc., there will be real consequences. Likewise, however, if you do an excellent job, there will also be consequences. To wrap it up then, thanks for watching my video and best of luck this semester. I am always excited for the students in my own 202 courses, and I am for you too, because I know every one of your instructors, and I know you are in the best of care. Have a great semester.